According to CIA declassified documents, the CIA got their hands on a KGB file mentioning an incident in October 1987 where Soviet soldiers had a run-in with a UFO. The UFO flew by in Siberia, and a soldier with a ground-to-air rocket launcher shot it. This led to 5 humanoid beings emerging from the downed UFO, then subsequently merging into one being, then immediately using some shiny bright light to turn 23 soldiers into limestone, leaving only 2 survivors to tell the tale. Let's review this document to cover exactly what happened here. Let's first dive into some context. 1980s USSR was under strict communist rule, with the KGB, Committee for State Security, serving as the primary intelligence, surveillance, and secret police agency. The KGB controlled foreign espionage, domestic surveillance, and censorship, heavily monitoring science, media, and paranormal research. So if any incident occurred related to the military, such as a military platoon being attacked by something unknown, they would be the ones to receive such intel at the time. Perestroika, restructuring, and glasnost, openness, began under Mikhail Gorbachev in 1985, loosening state control and allowing previously hidden material like UFO encounters and psychic research to leak or be discussed publicly. During glasnost, Soviet newspapers and tabloids began printing wild or suppressed stories, including UFOs and psychic experiments. The CIA modern foreign press, including these papers, through the open source intelligence OSINT and translation programs. This, however, also included getting documents from defectors, leaks, or intercepts of Soviet communications and internal memos. So at this point in time, there was a lot of information that agencies were able to get their hands on. So now, let's review the incident report covered and classified by the CIA, obtained by the KGB around the early 1990s. According to the documents, U.S. intelligence obtained a 250-page file on the attack by a UFO on a military unit in Siberia. This was October 1987, 8:35 a.m. According to the KGB materials, a quite low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers. For unknown reasons, somebody within the unit unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell not too far away from the training maneuvers, their sights, and upon investigation, 5 humanoids with large heads, large black eyes, and segmented snouts emerged from it. According to the testimonies of the 2 survivors of the incident, after the aliens freed themselves from the debris, they came close together, then merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. That spherical shape then began to buzz and hiss sharply, suddenly emitting a brilliant white light. In just a few seconds, the sphere grew much larger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light again. In that instant, 23 soldiers who watched the event turned into stone poles. Only 2 surviving soldiers, giving this testimony, were able to recount the event. Apparently these 2 soldiers were less exposed to the luminescent explosion when it happened. explaining their survival. And not only that, the 250-page paper also explains that the remains of the UFO and even the petrified soldiers were transferred to a secret scientific research institute near Moscow. Apparently, the UFO had no controls or apparent source of propulsion, but at this time, analysis of the craft was incomplete. Specialists reviewed the materials and concluded that the source of energy used in the attack is still unknown to Earthlings. Those specialists who claimed that the soldiers turned to stone had their internal structures instantly changed, transforming living organisms into a substance whose molecular compositions is no different from that of limestone. According to CIA agents that supposedly had the KGB files, these aliens can stand up for themselves if attacked, and this extremely menacing case shows that the aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all of our assumptions. Also, according to Canadian papers at the time, CIA agents were trying to get the spaceship for themselves. And another very interesting note was that these specialists that analyzed what the soldiers turned into, those scientists, those specialists that are able to actually observe and look at what those soldiers turned into, did not say it was limestone. They mentioned that the substance had a molecular composition that is no different from limestone, but didn't actually claim or call it limestone. If the molecular composition is the same as limestone, you'd think it'd be the same, so why not just say it as it is? And considering they also claimed that they were using some kind of energy unknown to any Earthling, this might also lead to an idea that there might be some other item at play here, some hints here at what this could be. Or maybe I was just thinking about that a little too much. One note of interest was that although the main source here that was used was the declassified documentation from the CIA, allegedly having information from these KGB files, there seemed to be a lot of open forum discussion between CIA agents and the Canadians, and in newspapers about what happened here. As you probably saw in those pictures I added to this video, this was actually covered quite a bit here and there. What I also found interesting was how the CIA was able to actually obtain these papers. Given the political changes at the time in the USSR, it kind of leads a lot of credence to the fact that this might actually have been an account, an actual report. What do you guys think? While not being able to find the exact 250-page KGB file, the declassified CIA documents referencing it do give these high-level details. Does this lead to credence to the fact that UFOs, especially aliens, are real? You would think the Soviets would have been too busy at the time to include bad information or bogus reports, and with the way the CIA obtained alleged KGB files remains open, it definitely seems plausible. So please, if anything, take a cryptid clue.